What you doing, pups? What you doing, pups? How's it going? And welcome back to another video. Today is another microphone review. Now, I know what you're thinking, but stick around. This is actually really cool. This is the Comica CVM-WM300. This is a wireless lav mic with 2 receivers, and it's actually really good. Now, what you get in the box is everything you see there. This isn't included. So let's crack this thing open and see what it's all about. Look at that. This thing comes ready for battle. This thing is absolutely no joke. I don't know if you can see how hard I'm squeezing this thing, but it doesn't hardly flex at all. Remarkable packaging for this. We crack it open here, and there are the goods. Got a user manual, a little warranty card, and then the microphone goods. What we've got here is the receiver module, and then we have got 2 transmitters that actually hook up to the person that you're trying to record, and that sends all the audio back to the receiver. They come with these neat belt clips, so you can attach them to a belt or a pocket or some pants or pretty much anything that you can jam in there. Then it comes with 2 lav mics with threaded locking plugs, so you don't have to worry about it coming unplugged while you're recording. It comes with a micro USB cable to charge them up. It comes with an XLR plug for the more audio inclined folks out there. And it comes with a locking 3.5mm audio jack to a standard one that plugs into the back of your camera. It also comes with a variety of mounts. All of these transmitters have got 1/4-20 threads in the back, so you can hook pretty much any of your standard mounting equipment up to it and mount it wherever you want. It also comes with a couple of dead cats to mute the wind noise if you're using this outdoors. These transmitters are also 100% made out of aluminum, so they feel incredibly solid, very robust. You could probably run this thing over with a car and it would still work. The only thing that's made out of plastic on the entire thing are the buttons themselves, and then the antenna, which is kind of rubbery. I believe that the screen is actually some kind of tempered glass. It doesn't feel like plastic. So right out of the gate, the actual build quality, packaging quality, everything seems top-notch. Some of the best build quality of any camera gear I've ever seen. So that's a huge plus. Fantastic. 2 thumbs up. But none of that matters unless it actually is a good microphone, right? So what I've been recording with this entire time is the Rode Smart Lav hooked up to the Galaxy S8 and the default recording app. So it's what I do a lot of my videos with. It sounds really good, I think. But let's see how it compares to the Comica wireless lav system. So now this is the Comica wireless lav system recording now. And as you may have noticed, I got a shave and there has been an attire change, which indicates that time has passed, which it has, and that's because I had a little bit of difficulty with the setup on this. I actually recorded one of my previous videos with this system. It worked perfectly fine. I got a little bit of the audio levels wrong, so it had some audio peaking in it. But other than that, I didn't have any trouble. But this time, I paired it up, recorded a video, and it was clipping out. It was dropping a couple seconds or a half a second of audio every once in a while. It wasn't super frequent, but enough to cut out stuff that I was trying to tell you guys. So I got in touch with the company, and they said, we'll run the auto scan and try again. So the auto scan feature will detect the cleanest channel available and select that for your recording. So I didn't do that, and I think there was some interference, but all you have to do is go to the auto scan, click the button, it will scan through all the channels, select one that it thinks is the cleanest, ask you if you want to use that one, and then you can pair it to the transmitter. So with pairing the transmitter to the receiver, there's this pretty neat little feature. There's an IR receiver right here on the very top, and what you can do is when you select the channel that you want to use, you can then select to pair it via the IR. And you just point the 2 devices head to head, and in a couple of seconds it'll have them paired and ready to roll. So one of my previous videos, or maybe my most recent video, I recorded with this audio system as well, kind of as a test, and I got the audio levels wrong in that one, and there was some peaking, and it didn't sound the greatest. It sounded fine, but it wasn't the greatest. I screwed it up again on my re-recording of this same video as well. And because I'm doing a dedicated microphone review video, I decided I would re-record it a third time and get the levels right. But in all this troubleshooting, I have learned new things that I can now share with you if you're interested in getting this wireless system, or I guess any wireless system really. I would imagine that you would have these same woes with anyone that you were using because it's a new kind of system. It is wireless, which is always kind of sketchy because there's nothing connecting you directly to what you're trying to record on. So as far as the audio levels go, I retested everything with different settings just to make sure I was getting the correct settings for this third recording. What I found out was that there are 16 recording levels on the transmitter, on the receiver, and there are 25 or 30 within the camera itself. So the first test I did, I had this turned up to 14, the receiver turned up to 14, and the camera set to 6, which is just whatever the camera was set on at the time. What I ended up with was audio peaking. It was way too loud, kind of garbly at the limit of the microphone sounding. So I knew that one wasn't right, so then I turned the camera audio down all the way to 1 to see if that would get rid of the peaking. There was still peaking, so the peaking was within the transmitters themselves. So then I turned the camera up to 7, left the transmitter on 14, and turned the receiver down to 5. And that sounded fantastic, and that's what I'm recording with right now. Then, because I wanted to make sure that I had covered all my bases, I turned the transmitter down to 5, the receiver up to 14, and then the camera up to 10. So the receiver and the camera itself were turned up higher, so it was taking the signal and essentially amplifying it, and that's exactly what it sounded like. It sounded like it was too quiet of recording. It was then boosted after the fact. You could hear too much background noise kind of underneath everything. So that wasn't going to work, so I reverted back to the previous settings, having this at 14, receiver at 5, and the camera at 7. So this is what it sounds like. This is the kind of audio quality you can expect from this microphone. And you guys put your headphones in, turn the volume up, listen to it to really hear the differences and the quality difference between this and a much cheaper but still very good microphone, the Rode SmartLav. So this wireless microphone claims to have a 120 meter working distance. So let's go try that out. I really am curious to see how far this thing will go. All right, so this is going to be the range test. I'm going to go ahead and zoom this lens in to about 50 millimeters. Just a nice focal length that everybody can reference. Testing, testing, testing. Testing, 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 testing. All right, we're close to 400 feet right here. I'll let these cars pass. This is supposedly the limit of the transmitter here. So I'm gonna go back. Okay, so this is probably about 450 feet here. You can still see me. I'm right behind the post. It seems to be transmitting just fine. There may be some points where it cuts out, and I'll show you those if there are any. But I'm gonna go back just a little bit further, maybe another 25 feet. Testing, 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 testing. All right, well, it seemed to transmit just fine within the advertised range. Once we got to the end of that and a little bit further, it kind of seemed to fall apart a little bit, but overall, I'm impressed. So overall, it did a very good job at reaching the advertised distance. There were a couple times where it flaked out just a little bit because of the cars passing or me walking. I'm not sure this device likes to be jostled around much when it's being used, so I guess this wouldn't be good if you were really running around, but it did a pretty good job, and it went out and beyond the advertised distance. When there was some interference with the trees, it completely cut out. So this thing gets a thumbs up as far as the advertised range goes. So the receiver itself has got an audio monitoring headphone jack, so you can plug in some headphones and monitor the audio in real time as it's recording. This is a feature that's not available on all cameras, like the A6500 here doesn't have that. It's nice to see that addition if you do get this microphone system. So the battery seems to last pretty good. I've been using it off and on for about the last week and a half, 2 weeks, and I have actually not charged up the transmitter once, and I've still got 2 out of 3 bars of battery. So you can expect to get probably several hours of recording time out of this. before you have to charge them up. There are actually no removable batteries, so you have to wait for it to charge back up before you can use it again. You can't just throw a fresh battery in it. So that can be kind of a disappointment, but it just is what it is. So sorry if the last half of this video has been slightly less enthusiastic than the beginning of this video. The troubleshooting and the hardships have kind of frustrated me a little bit, but overall this is still a very good microphone system. Again, the build quality is remarkable, second to none. The packaging and storage quality is fantastic, again, second to none. The audio quality is really good. The only thing is that the connection and setup was a little iffy. Again, that could just be amateur hour. So overall, this microphone system gets a pretty good thumbs up. If you're interested in purchasing it or just want to know more about it, check the links down in the description. It really helps out my channel. If you like this video, give it a like, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one.